Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Ulysse Nardin Marine Chronograph manufacture. You can see and you can purchase this in-house caliber steel Ulysse Nardin on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full commercial listing for this watch with additional accessories included in the sale, high resolution images, and naturally complete pricing details for this Ulysse Nardin. Now, there used to be two types of Ulysse Nardin: the absolutely spectacular high horology pieces, painstakingly designed and constructed and regulated for delivery in-house by Ulysse Nardin's own watchmakers, and then there were the sundry models, the ETA-powered watches, the watches that featured some modification with Ulysse Nardin modules in general, but for the most part represented highly tuned calibers from ETA, generally delivered in the chronometer specification and cased up without too many changes. That changed in 2012 with the caliber 118. However, that was three hands with a date. The caliber 150, the chronograph, came the next year in 2013, and the 150 finally brings Ulysse Nardin into the realm of manufacturers of chronograph calibers. Now what we have here is a watch that's 43 millimeters across the round of the case and 15 millimeters thick, so the thickness is reasonable. It'll fit underneath a reasonably loose cuff, just not the tightest of dress cuffs. And in terms of breadth across the wrist, the watch is very manageable, 49 millimeters, and it wears even more compact than that, thanks to Ulysse Nardin's remarkable bracelet strap combination. Neither a bracelet nor a pure strap. It used to feature a hinge on each side, but as the manufacturer learned more and more about how the watches sat on wrists and how people wore their watches, they amended it to feature a supple rubber side closest to the wrist bone and a hinge on the opposite side where it could do the most good. So with three hinges in tandem, the watch actually wears well on a small wrist despite having such imposing lugs. It pulls down easily and wraps itself around your forearm. It's also wonderfully light, and the strap has exceptional souplesse. You can see after the hinge it tapers profoundly so that it becomes very easy to bend around the soft underside of your wrist. Now it's paired with a very high grade titanium double deployment clasp from Ulysse Nardin. Now, of course, twin trigger actuated, so you must depress both to release it. Not friction fit, it can't simply pop open, and the trigger mechanism is far more deluxe than a simple clamshell. Ulysse Nardin spent some money here, and it was money well spent. Now, of course, the watch itself is classical Ulysse Nardin Marine Chronograph, a coined bezel. You can see the screwed-in number plate on the flank, recalling the great marine chronometers of the 19th and 20th century as built by Ulysse Nardin in Le Loc. And of course, you can see that the strap is fixed by screws at both lugs. Once again, no corners cut. That's how you want a big, heavy sports watch fixed, not by spindly spring bars whenever possible. Of course, there is a Rayhaut that slopes down to the applied Arabic numerals. The Rayhaut itself bears luminescent strips such that the watch is easily legible in low or no light. Now, on the dial itself, and I'll try to show this to advantage, each of the sub-registers is countersunk with a beautiful polished chaptering. White on black is superbly legible, and you'll note the applied Ulysse Nardin anchor logo at 12 o'clock. It's handsome, and it's an absolute pleasure to actuate the caliber 150. Now, the caliber 150, the titular manufacturer caliber in the name chronograph manufacturer, can be seen on the case back. 25 joules, 48-hour power reserve. This started life many moons ago in the early 70s as a Lamagna caliber. Now, it went through several different phases of ownership, one in which it was used by Omega, one in which it was co-owned by Ulysse Nardin and Ebel, wherein it became the Ebel 137, and here you see the Ulysse Nardin caliber 150. It actually took 3 years of re-engineering the movement to create a dual-anchored balance bridge, a free-sprung balance, to replace the escapement components and the hairspring with silicon with all attendant advantages. The free-sprung full balance bridge gives it stability against shock. The silicon components give it resistance to magnetism, and the rotor at center has a beautiful lacquered Ulysse Nardin anchor logo and a rusticated metal finish across its surface. You can see the beautiful kiln-oxidized cobalt blue screws and a circular Côte de Genève across the bridges. It's an absolute pleasure to behold, and quite frankly, I think the original engineer of that old Lamagna caliber would have difficulty recognizing just how incredibly Ulysse Nardin has transformed this movement from the base caliber. Quite frankly, I just don't think its original father would recognize it. And of course, with ceramic bearings energizing the 48-hour power reserve, it has a smooth and efficient system with which to convey power from the kinetic energy of your wrist to the heartbeat, the 4 hertz heartbeat of that manufacturer chronograph. Of course, there is a hacking seconds feature, so pull the crown, stop the balance, synchronize the timer, and there is a quick set for the date, so should the watch run down or encounter an irregular length month, this beautiful caliber 150 has the ability to quickly correct the date window. Now, of course, it wouldn't be a marine, would it, if it didn't have robust water resistance, and with 100 meters of water resistance, it's suitably equipped for fun in the sun and the beaches when you hit the shores this winter on your vacation. You can see and you can purchase this Ulysse Nardin marine chronometer manufacturer on our website.